There's something uniquely fascinating about putting Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham side by side in a martial arts context. Two action movie icons, two different eras, and two physical approaches shaped not just by training, but by the characters they played and the lives that literally molded their bodies.
I like spending time with you.
Next time, take me on a pony ride, okay?
Look a little closer, and you realize they're not even in the same category. And that's exactly what makes this comparison so interesting. The most compelling thing about these two is how their physical attributes create completely different fighting identities. Sylvester Stallone, especially in his prime, was the classic Hollywood physique. Big, muscular, and built more to project toughness than agility. Standing around 5 feet 8 inches, with a body weight that often shifted depending on the role, he carried a thick structure through his chest, shoulders, and back. That kind of build naturally supports a style that's direct, heavy, and driven by constant physical pressure. Jason Statham, on the other hand, brings almost the opposite frame. He's about 5 feet 9 inches, nearly the same height as Stallone, but his composition is clearly different. Leaner, more functionally compact, and stripped of any unnecessary bulk, his body looks built to move, not just to pose. Stallone doesn't come from a pure martial arts foundation, but throughout his career as an action star, he's been constantly exposed to different fighting disciplines. When he stepped into the role of Rocky Balboa, for example, Stallone trained directly with professional boxing coaches to learn proper technique, from footwork, punch combinations, all the way to timing and rhythm inside the ring. That intense training helped him pick up the fundamentals of boxing pretty well, even if he was never a real competitive fighter. Then there's his work on Rambo III. To make the fight scenes look more convincing, Stallone studied the basics of Muay Thai. That training gave him a feel for close-range striking structure, the trademark posture of Thai fighters, and how to build a natural-looking rhythm of punches and kicks that would hold up on camera. Even so, Statham probably wouldn't be too worried about that, because behind all the fame and his status as an action star, he grew up rough on the streets. That's where he got comfortable with real physical confrontations, survival instincts, and raw, no-frills fighting. The tough environment in Shirebrook, England, shaped his mindset long before he ever became an actor. But Statham isn't just a product of the streets. As he got older, he started sharpening himself through more structured martial arts training, especially kickboxing.
It's great. Lots of action. That's what you get. Three minutes and 3 rounds. You're destined to get something to see.
That eventually turned into full-on dedication to multiple fighting disciplines. Beyond kickboxing, Statham rounded out his skill set with other techniques, one of the most important being Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He holds a purple belt in BJJ, a skill he's used over and over again in the grappling sequences of his films. He relies heavily on footwork, angle changes, and precise timing. Statham is always moving, constantly shifting his attack lines and only closes the distance when he decides the moment is right.
I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu, I did a little bit of kickboxing. I've done, pretty much, they're the two most specific, and a lot of fight training that we do is all sort of related to that. A little bit of judo I did for a while. Just, screwed about and fucked about in different things.
But more importantly, this comparison isn't just about who's stronger or who's faster. It's about how the body and the background create a fighter's identity, even when both of them live in the world of film. We'll probably never see a real-life fight between Stallone and Statham, but thanks to the internet, we do have plenty of real fights that mirror their styles. Like this one, a matchup between a fighter with huge, hard, impressive muscles up against an ordinary-looking guy with a lean frame. On paper, he looks outgunned, but he has one deadly weapon: years of refined technique from the kickboxing ring. Using the speed of his hands and feet, he doesn't try to meet power with power. He slips it, avoids it, and waits. And the moment a tiny opening appears, he fires back instantly. Another perfect example comes from a fight between a boxer in his 50s and a much younger kickboxer. At the start, the old-school boxer shocks everyone, dropping his opponent with a clean knockdown. But once the fight continues, the momentum starts to shift. The younger man adjusts, pushes forward, and begins to turn the tide, cracking the older boxer with heavy hooks and sending him to the canvas. With his age catching up to him, the veteran clearly starts to run out of gas. He's forced to lean back against the ropes in the corner just to stay in the fight, absorbing shot after shot from his opponent. Eventually, the referee sees enough. With the older boxer taking unanswered punishment and no longer defending himself intelligently, the fight is finally stopped. When we talk about age, our next example brings us to an older veteran facing off against a young fighter known by the nickname American Ninja. From the very first second the referee starts the fight, you can see the young man's courage and toughness. His body language says it all. Just like Statham, there's not a hint of fear on his face, even though the man standing across from him is an aging warrior with the kind of experience you'd associate with someone like Stallone.